Hi, my name's Ted O'Connell, and I'm the author of USMLE Step 2 Secrets. This is part 3 of the Biostatistics chapter. Let's get started. Discuss nonrandom or nonstratified sampling. City A and City B can be compared, but they may not be equivalent. For example, if City A is a retirement community and City B is a college town, City A will have higher rates of mortality and heart disease if the groups are not stratified into appropriate age-specific comparisons. What is non-response bias? Non-response bias occurs when people do not return printed surveys or answer the phone in a phone survey. If non-response accounts for a significant percentage of the results, the experiment will suffer. The first strategy in this situation is to visit or call the non-responders repeatedly. If this strategy is unsuccessful, list the non-responders as unknown in the data analysis and see if any results can be salvaged. Never make up or assume responses. Explain lead time bias. Lead time bias is caused by time differentials. The classic example is a cancer screening test that claims to prolong survival compared with older survival data, when in fact the difference is only due to earlier detection, not to improved treatment or prolonged survival. Explain admission rate bias. The classic admission rate bias occurs when an experimenter compares the mortality rates for myocardial infarction or some other disease in hospitals A and B and concludes that hospital A has a higher mortality rate. The higher rate may be caused by tougher admission criteria at hospital A, which admits only the sickest patients with myocardial infarction. Hence, hospital A has higher mortality rates, although its care may be superior. The same bias can apply to a surgeon's mortality and morbidity rates if he or she takes only tough cases. Explain recall bias. Recall bias is a risk in all retrospective studies. When people cannot remember exactly, they may inadvertently overestimate or underestimate risk factors. For example, John died of lung cancer, and his angry widow remembers him as smoking, quote, like a chimney, whereas Mike died of non-smoking related causes, and his loving wife denies that he smoked very much. In fact, both men smoked 1 pack per day. Explain interviewer bias. Interviewer bias occurs in the absence of blinding. The scientist receives big money to do a study and wants to find a difference between cases and controls. Thus, he or she may inadvertently call the same patient comment or outcome, quote, not significant in the control group and, quote, significant in the treatment group. What is unacceptability bias? Unacceptability bias occurs when people do not admit to embarrassing behavior, claim to exercise more than they do to please the interviewer, or claim to take experimental medications when they spit them out or did not take them. That's the end of part 3 of the Biostatistics chapter in USMLE Step 2 Secrets. Please join us for some of our other videos.